Welcome, my name is Purnima. Lesson 4 Bird Migration, 5th Standard, Part 1. English First Language Part 1. It is as per 2024-2025 Karnataka State Board Syllabus. Human beings move from their birthplace to other place for jobs or work. They also visit different places. Moving from one place to another for some purpose is migrating. Birds, like human beings, move from their native lands to other lands in search of food or shelter when the climate is not suitable for them to survive in their native land. Activity. Before reading the text, work with a partner and answer the following questions. Base your answers on your knowledge of the topic. What words do you use to describe animals and birds? For animals, majestic, powerful, and impressive, like a lion or an elephant. Agile, quick, and graceful like a cheetah or a deer. Fierce, strong, and aggressive like tiger or a wolf. Loyal, faithful, and devoted like a dog. Playful, energetic, and fun-loving like a dolphin or a kitten. Wild, untamed, and free like a bear or a zebra. Gentle, soft, and kind like a rabbit or a horse. For birds, soaring, flying high, and gracefully like an eagle, melodious, singing beautifully like a nightingale, colorful, bright and vibrant like a parrot and a peacock, swift, fast and smooth in flight like a swallow, elegant, graceful and redefined like a swan, tiny, small and delicate like a human hummingbird, mysterious, enigmatic and intriguing like an owl. What are the birds commonly seen in your locality? Indian peafowl, rock pigeon, spotted dove, greater cockle, Asian koel, cattle egret, black kite, white-throated kingfisher, coppersmith barbet, white-cheeked barbet, rose-ringed parakeet, black drongo, house crow, red-trumped swallow, common myna, pied bush chat, pale-billed, flower-pecker, purple-rumped, sunbird, purple sunbird, Asian openbill, jungle myna, Indian robin, tree pipit. Why do you think birds migrate? Birds migrate for a beautifully simple reason, survival. Their journey, some spanning thousands of kilometers, are driven by the need for food, favorable climate, and safe breeding grounds. Seasonal changes. In colder months, food becomes scarce in some regions. Birds fly to warmer places where insects, fruits, or plants are still available. Breeding habits. Many birds migrate to specific areas to nest and raise their young, often where predators are fewer and conditions are ideal for chicks. Daylight and navigation. Longer daylight in temperate zones gives birds more time to find food for their young. This plays a surprising role in triggering migration, instinct, and evolution. Over generations, birds have evolved incredible internal maps and instincts that tell them when to go and where. How do you think birds warn us of climate changes? Birds are like nature's early warning system. They respond quickly to environmental shifts, making them powerful indicators of climate change. Here's how they warn us. Shifting migration patterns. Many birds are arriving earlier in spring or delaying their departure in autumn. For example, some migratory species now show up days or even weeks ahead of their historical schedule. Range shifts. Birds are moving to higher altitudes or latitudes to escape rising temperatures. Species once common in southern regions are now being spotted farther north. Population declines. As the habitats change or disappear, birds' populations drop. Wetland birds, for instance, are especially vulnerable to droughts caused by climate change. Changes in breeding and behavior. Birds are nesting earlier, laying fewer eggs, and even changing their songs and calls in response to altered environments. Physical changes. Believe it or not, some birds are getting smaller with longer wings, possibly an adaptation to warmer climates. Because birds are so well studied and sensitive to change, scientists often use them as bioindicators to track the health of ecosystems. Birds are a man's and environment's best friends. They could be kept as pets. They can perform marvelous feats like human beings who go in search of job opportunities to earn their living. Birds travel from place to place for different reasons. Their movement is seasonal. There are surprising facts about their movement. The migration of birds is as old as the history of mankind, and it's a surprise. Why do birds keep migrating from place to place? There is no satisfactory answer. However, there are many facts related to the amazing phenomenon called bird migration. The word migration refers to the movement of birds from one place to another, from lowlands to highlands, and from interior to the seacoast. Birds migrate for various reasons. For instance, it is observed that during winter, birds go to warmer places because some of them cannot survive. The birds that feed on insects will not be able to find their food in winter. Weather conditions alone would not make birds migrate. Birds migrate depending on the season. How do the birds identify the seasonal changes? It is said that birds can find the seasonal changes by knowing the length of the day. It is also believed that birds can understand it when days get shorter and when they get longer. This ability in birds functions like an alarm clock. Birds breed in summer and it is also connected with migration. During this season, birds migrate northward. Change in the length of days and the lack of food tell the bird to migrate to suitable places. The breeding instinct helps them migrate up north. In late summer, many birds fly down south. Sometimes they travel to different continents and return to their nest in their own country in spring. Their ability to find their home is as amazing as their readiness to migrate. How do birds find their way home? There is a belief that birds can understand the magnetic field that surrounds the Earth. These magnetic fields run from north to south pole. Perhaps the birds are directed themselves by these lines of force. However, this theory has not been proved. Birds migrate for many reasons and may have their instinct to find their way home. They are the champions among all migrating animals. The Arctic terns are the champions among the birds. These travel an average of 22,000 miles a year during its flight. The tern nests at different places and takes about 20 weeks to make its trip down to the Antarctic region. Its average speed is 1,000 miles a week. Most land birds make short hops during their migration. The American golden plover is an exception. It makes a long, non-stop flight and can fly a distance of about 2,400 miles over water without food or stopping. Birds do not actually begin their migration the same day every year. For instance, the famous swallows of California are supposed to leave on October 23rd, return on March 19th, but their dates of departure and return have been found to be varying from year to year. Birds migrate for satisfying their needs as human beings do. Impact of these cell towers on birds. Ever wondered about vanishing house sparrows, declining number of peacocks and other birds in the city? A study of possible impacts of communication tower on wildlife, birds and bees, conducted by the expert committee of Union Ministry of Environment and Forest attributes the drop in number of birds in Indore, Bhopal, Jabalpur, Ujjain and other cities to increase use of mobile phones and electromagnetic radiation EMR emitted from communication towers. Concerned over the increasing number of mobile towers in the city, a city-based animal activist Sudhir Khitawat has written a letter to Animal Welfare Board urging them to take necessary action in the matter. It is dangerous for birds, and even the Forest Department, in its letter dated May 5th, 2015 and May 12, 2015, has accepted that mobile tower radiation is affecting the health of the birds and peacocks in particular, said Khitawat. Girish Kumar from Electrical Engineering Department of IIT Mumbai, who has done extensive work on harmful effects of mobile tower radiation on humans, birds, and animals, has said that birds, including sparrows, honeybees, and peacocks, are severely affected by cell tower radiation as their surface area is more, so radiation absorbed is also more compared to their body weight. He added that the effects on the peacock is much more pronounced as their wing feathers occupy more surface area, resulting in large absorption of radiation, hence creating more health hazards and leading to various ailments and even death. Source Times of India, May 22nd, 2015. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment and save the playlist. Thank you very much. Bye bye.